Hello Services people, Enrico here. Since it's the end of the year, I want to write down one goal for next year and I want to share with you on YouTube. The goal is to get the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam. In this video, we'll show you how to book the exam with one extra tip to get additional time and also how we're gonna prepare for this. I did the exam almost 3 years ago, so now of course the certificate has expired, so I thought to take the exam again and share the process here on YouTube so it can help other people who are studying for the exam as well. The idea of this journey is not to say how to take the Solutions Architect certificate in 8 hours, 1 week, or 10 minutes, but I want to share a journey of 8 weeks for people who has like a full-time job as I have and can allocate like 1-2 hours max per day. I also find that taking this approach, so slowing down the studying process, helps you make AWS concepts your own and kind of you have time to get your hands dirty with the AWS concept that we're going to learn through this journey. So let's get started and see how we can actually book the exam first of all. So to book the exam, you go to the aws.training website. You can log in with your Amazon account and you will be redirected to the website. Then you click go to your account and you will be redirected to the Certmetrics website. As you can see, this is my account with 2 AWS certificates. One is the Solutions Architect Associate and the other one is Developer Associate. And the status is expiring because I did the exams like almost 3 years ago, and now it's time to get the certificate again. And I go to schedule new exam, and you will see a list of exams, the available ones. And please make sure every time you schedule an exam to be sure to get the one with the correct exam code, because sometimes the names can be not very clear. So in our case, we want to get the SSAACO2, which is the new Solutions Architect exam. Next one, I want to share the tip to actually get half an hour extra time. So you go on exam accommodation. We can select the additional time for non-native English speaker. And you go on the list, you go here, ESL plus 30 minutes. And you can see they're available for both the exam providers. You go there, you have added your accommodation, then you go back to exam registration, and now you can click schedule with, I decided to go with Pearson VUE because I read online better feedback, but it's really up to you, doesn't matter. Then once you click on the provider website, you will be redirected in order to schedule the exam itself. So here you can choose to schedule the exam at the test center or online at home. I personally prefer to do it on the test center because I feel like I'm more focused on the test center and I want to do it at home where I can have some noise or stuff, and you can risk to be disqualified if they hear like noises or people entering your room by mistake. So I decided to go with the test center, and please make sure when you schedule the exam that if you have selected the extra time on the next page, you will see that they actually confirm it. So here you choose the language. I'm going to do it in English, and then I click the next button, and we will see like a summary of what we're going to book. And as you can see, we booked the SAACO2. Price is $150. Language English, and the accommodation name, you can see the extra time 30 minutes. So it's all good. We can go next and actually go to the payment. So we've seen how to book the exam. Now let's see how the exam is composed of. The exam is 130 minutes long plus the extra 30 minutes as we've seen previously. There will be 65 questions, but only 50 will be used for your score. Indeed, the exam includes 15 unscored questions that doesn't affect your score. AWS collects this information about candidate performance on these unscored questions to evaluate this question for future use as actually scored question. These unscored questions are not identified on the exam, so we'll have to answer 65 questions without knowing if the question is for the score or not. The exam is a pass or fail exam, so you will have a score between 100 and 1000 points, and you need 720 points to pass the exam. The qualification is valid for 3 years, and if you want to requalify after the expiry date, you will get a 50% discount. The exam is divided into 4 domains, and They have different percentage of the exam, as you can see here on the table. The first one is design resilient architecture, meaning you will be tested on how to design multi-tier architecture, high available and fault tolerant architecture using, different AWS services. Also, you will be tested how to design the couple mechanism using AWS services such as SQS or SNS, and also choose the appropriate storage for resilient architecture. Next domain is how to design high-performing architecture, and you will be tested on how to design high-performing compute solution, storage solution as well, networking solutions, and also database solution, keeping in mind the high-performing options. The third domain is design secure applications. So again, these will be scenario-based questions, and you have to choose between the option on how to secure your application and your architecture. The fourth domain is to design cost-optimized architecture. You will have to identify the cost-effective storage or compute database services based on the scenario you will be offered by the question. So of course, as we said, these are all scenario-based questions. We will go through in this, let's say, series of videos on all the needed theory. I will also paste here on the description of this video the tools and technology you will be tested on the exam. I'll make sure to go over all of them and to study all the concepts needed for pass the exam. One last tip: if you want to take the exam, book it now. In this way, if you set a deadline, you don't have any excuse to not study or to delay the exam. In my case, I booked the exam for March 1st in London. So this is gonna be 8 weeks from now. And if the idea sounds interesting to you, please hit the subscribe button and follow the journey to the exam with me.